Okay, just so you know, this will be my absolute last time talking about the Super Bowl unless anything else comes up, but I don't think anything will at this point. I guess we got to start off with the game itself. Like I said, I mean, it's clear to me that this was going to be a defensive game, and I called it. And Sato, had a good plan, and they executed it to perfection. And I got to say, that was just an amazingly dominant performance. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the Patriots clearly had no answers, and Drake May did look very lost out there. I mean, like six or seven sacks. I mean, that's all you need to know right there. And so, that being said, I mean, one has to wonder with all that cap space that the Seattle Seahawks have and all that talent they have. I mean, do we have a potential dynasty here in the making? Is Seattle the team of the future here? I personally think they are. If you want a more in-depth recap, please check out my previous videos revolving the Super Bowl recap. I don't want to go over everything again; it'd be too repetitive, but I just think that for these next maybe a good 4 to 5 years, like, don't get me wrong, I think Seattle has a good, definitely has a bright future, and I think they are the team of, no, not really the future, I mean, the team of now, definitely are. I mean, I really think that this team's going to be dominant for, probably a long time, a good 5 years, I would say, you know. I wouldn't be surprised if they get close or possibly get back or win again. I mean, then because they have a great foundation here, and I just think that they are gonna be the team to beat, whether you like it or not. So as for the Patriots, I don't really know at this point. They too are a very young team. I mean, they did hang in there as best as they could against them, but again, just that third quarter implosion is what ultimately cost them. So who really knows what happens with them? But then you got to think about other teams too. I think that Jacksonville has a bright future ahead of them, that's for sure. I think that they're going to be a team of the future here. So the days of laughing at them, the days of mocking Jacksonville are over. I just think that other teams, I think, that have potential, who really knows? I mean, I think I do see a bright future in Denver, but all I can say is that it was a very defensive game overall. It was just that, that third quarter implosion by the Patriots. That's what ultimately did it. So now, unfortunately, I do have to talk about an unpleasant part, that being the halftime show. As I said in my previous video regarding the halftime show, I think my advice would be to a lot of entertainers out there, however you entertain your audience, especially the major YouTubers, considering what, granted, whether you support Turning Point USA, whether, or not, that's up to you. That's your business. I'm not here to tell you what to think or do. But considering what they were able to do, and as I said in our previous video regarding, a halftime show that happened back in 1999 with WWE when they had The Rock and Mick Foley Mankind wrestling that empty arena match, that drew 6.6 during the halftime show. I remember watching that with my friends back in the day, and on Nielsen ratings. So that's like, I think, what an opportunity, if the NFL continues to stink up the joint like this, appointing these people like this to be in charge of, and to perform at these shows, then I think, what? Make your own form of, it's time to put yourself out there, and it's time to, find a new ways to entertain people, because that's what people are looking for. I mean, well, I think a large majority of people are tired of the wokeness. They're tired of this, these agenda-filled nonsense. But I do think that a lot of people are also getting tired of just politicization and politics in general. So that's something to think about for a lot of any major entertainers out there. Just say, hey, now is your time to shine. Now it's your moment, and I say go for it. So just forget about them, because unless something drastic's here, like either Goodell steps down or they fire him, I just don't think it's going to change anytime soon. So I haven't seen the show, but I haven't heard anyone say anything good about it. I mean, it was never all I didn't really bring it up because I don't want to get into a debate with anybody, but I find that, majority of people were talking about the game. They weren't talking about the show. So it really says a lot right there. So all I can say is look, if Turning Point USA can draw the numbers that they did, if the WWE can put up the numbers they did back in that year, back in 1999, who's to say that other entertainers out there could, it could do something similar for next year's Super Bowl. So I say, go for it. Do that instead. So that being said, well, this, this concludes probably another year of the NFL. This concludes our season. Now, as for football goes, I will keep an eye on the NFL draft. Now, I don't know what's going to happen to me personally if I do move out of my area, but for CFL fans out there, I'll definitely check out some games there. And I'll definitely keep an eye on that. I'll probably keep an eye on the UFL as well. So, but aside from that, as far as NFL talk goes, I probably won't be, this is my way of closing it out up until the draft. And I'll definitely see you all next year, and hopefully my Saints could have a better season next year. Maybe they can make some good picks, but till then, that's all I got. Those are my thoughts on the Super Bowl, and those are my thoughts on the future of the halftime shows and the NFL going forward. I want to know, what are your thoughts? Comment down below. Till then, that's all I got. Hope you all enjoy the off season, and I'll see you during the draft, and I'll see you all in the fall. Good day. Take care, everyone. Peace.